Go to the viewing of it. All right. There we are. All right. So welcome to the 2021-22 school year at IS 238. Okay. Just to preface this, if you are on Zoom, yes, if you were on Zoom, if you joined in on the Zoom, please do not use your time on the Zoom to ask personal questions specifically about your child, whether that could be their specific report card or health issue or any of those things specifically. Keep the questions general. Your child and your own privacy is very important to me. And if you have a question where you want to say, my child, this suffers from this or that, call the school. There are people at the school, and call from 8 to 3 and we'll get you the assistance. So this isn't, you don't want to like say, oh, my son, Harry lost his glasses in the bathroom 3 years ago. Do you think they're still there? I'm being silly, of course, with that, but you get the picture. We want to keep these topics pretty generalized. Okay. You can, of course, ask questions that impact your child, but hopefully I'll be able to answer all of those. Okay. So, September 13th is the first day of school. Okay. And on the first day of school, all students are to report to the schoolyard by 7:45. And we're going to line the kids up outside and then bring them into the building. For those parents who have been with us for a year or more than that, you kind of know how that works. If your child was in person last year, then you definitely know how that worked. And that's how we're going to start it. If you're picking your child up after school, please pick a meeting place. So on the day you bring your child to school, especially my sixth grade parents, that morning say, okay, Susie, meet me at the big tree in the front of the building, or meet me in the schoolyard, because the schoolyard, I will keep the schoolyard open. I usually do that for the first week, people, so people get used to, till people get used to things. Okay, so but make sure that, and if somebody different picks up your child, make sure you tell them where you said to meet them, because that's another thing that sometimes happen. Someone will come up and say, well, didn't you tell them where to meet him? Well, his mother dropped them off, but then she forgot to tell me where she told him to meet him. So just make sure you guys communicate. And the school day is from 8 a.m. to 2:20 every day. Okay. All right. Important information now. Again, the purpose of this, having this session, is to just kind of get some information. I know everybody's a little anxious, but I have to tell you, with the Department of Ed, if you were a parent last year that was really on top of this, whether or not you were sending your child to school in person or you were keeping them at home remotely, last year around this time, the information kept changing every day. And I did not want to get into adding more stress to your lives. And perfect case in point, they dropped something this morning on us, that it's not that big a deal, but it does change, and it makes you think that other things might be coming. But all students at current time have to attend in person unless there's a health issue, which I will go over. But as of right now, everybody's in person. Okay. So that means each day the students have to complete a health screening form. Now, if you have a smartphone, the best way to help everybody out is to do this on the phone. If your child brings a phone to school every day, then they do it on the phone that morning. You don't do it. I did it today, Monday the 13th, and I show you the same health screening thing every day. It's got to be a new one every day. So I'm just going to, and the address is right here, healthscreening.schools.nyc. I'm going to see if I click this, if it doesn't break anything. Okay. Does everybody see that? The health screen, did it pop up? You got that? All right. Okay. So if I sign in as a student or if I sign in as a guest. Now, students can sign in, they have an account. We'll get to that. But if you were coming or wanted to sign in, I go in a guest. So I'll say I'm a student and my name is Justin Bieber. Is he still somebody? I think so. Oh man, an email. I'll put the school email on you. um, IS238. Whoops. is238q.org. Oh boy, I got to put so you got to put the address of the school, which is 88-15, or you got to 88-15. Susan B. Anthony right there. Does everybody see that? We're following me? Okay. And the floor, I don't know, ground floor. I don't know what that means. Ground. Well, let's just say first. Okay. So, hello, Justin Bieber. And it asks me these questions. Have you experienced symptoms of COVID-19, including a fever 100 degrees or greater? New cough, new loss of taste or smell, shortness? I'm going to answer no. In the past 10 days, have you gotten a lab confirmed positive result from a COVID-19 diagnostic test, not a blood test, that was your first positive result, or after 90 days from your previous diagnosis date? Please note that 10 days is measured from the day you were tested, not from the day when you got the result. I'm going to say no. Are you considered fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by CDC guidelines, or were you recently, within the past 3 months, diagnosed with COVID-19 and finished isolation in the past 90 days? Please note that to be considered fully vaccinated by CDC guidelines, 2 weeks must have passed since you received the second dose in a 2-dose series, or 2 weeks must have passed since you received a single dose vaccine. So I am a 6th grade student and I am 10 years old and 11 months, and my birthday is next month and I can't wait, but I'm not old enough to get the vaccine yet. So I'm going to check no, I am not considered fully vaccinated and was not diagnosed with COVID. To the best of your knowledge, in the past 10 days, have you been in close contact, 6 feet or 10 minutes over a 24-hour period with anyone who's currently diagnosed with COVID-19 or has been told they have symptoms of COVID-19? Clinical staff who were in appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, are not considered close contacts in these scenarios. And I'm going to say no. And then I'm going to submit the screening. Now, if you answer no, yes to any of these questions, it stops. And it tells you are not to enter the building. So if you answer yes to any of these 4 questions, it means stay home. Okay. But we're all good, because you know why? We're all good in the neighborhood and we're going to be fine on this. So I'm going to hit submit screening. And hey, look at this. I am cleared to enter the DOE schools and facilities Thursday, September 2nd, at the date and time I did it. Now, if your child is doing this on their phone, or if they take a screenshot in the morning, all they got to do is they show us this and we say, okay, great. And we take their temperature and they go in. If they don't do it on the phone, we have forms with this written down and they check it off. That just takes a little more time. And again, if your child has the phone, it would be easier if they just did it on the phone, because then we can get them in and out. Oh, you guys can't see the screen? Oh my goodness, hold on. Boy, I tell you. How about now? You got it. Okay. So this would come up on the phone. So let me see if I go back. So here, real quick. You know what? This is what we do in teaching anyway. We do a lot of repeating, but I'm going to do it quicker this way. I'm Justin Bieber. It says hello to me. Have I experienced COVID? Do I have a fever? Am I sick? No, I'm healthy. In the past 10 days, have I gotten a result telling me that I'm sick? No, I'm good. Are you considered fully vaccinated? No, I'm 11 years old and 10 months. And 18 days, no, I'm not considered fully vaccinated. To the best of your knowledge, have you been in close contact? Now, here's where I'll throw the curveball since I'd said it. I'm going to hit yes. If I hit submit, no, denied. Can't go in the building. Not cleared to enter the building. So let me retake it again. I'm no. In the past 10 days, no. No, I'm not considered fully vaccinated because I'm 11 years old. And the best of my knowledge, I have not been in contact with anyone who has COVID. No. I submit the screening. I'm good. I'm cleared to go in. And again, like I said, if we show the phone, let me stop the share. If we show the phone with that on there, we go into the building. Okay. All right. Let's go back to. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to do the desktop. That makes it a little easier. Then I can flip around. All right. So let's go back here. Okay. So again, those of you who know me, those of you who've been here in school, you know I take this very seriously. And we did, I think, very well last year. We checked the temperatures every day of everybody. I don't like the idea of random because it takes a second to do. We do everybody. And it helps because sometimes it catches it before it goes in the building. We don't want a problem. Okay. And if a child has a high temperature or something, we want to make sure that they get the proper treatment they need and also that we don't risk exposure to anybody else. So students should take their temperature in the morning before they come to school because when you answer that health screening, they shouldn't have a temperature. But when they come in, we're still going to take their temperature just to be on the safe side. That's why we're going to ask students to come in early, about 7:45, so we can get everybody in the building. All right. Okay, the other big thing we need to do, the nycstudents.net email account. Okay, so as you know, the students had their IS-238Q account. And for those of you who are new sixth grade students, you may have had maybe a PS95 account, a PS35 account, a 116 account. They're going a Gmail. They're going to shut that off. Okay, but every student still has an nycstudent.net account. Okay, I've already spoken to a lot of incoming sixth graders, and I don't think they ever went to the Teach Hub. Maybe their school did something different, so they're not familiar with it. But the students will need this account because this is where we can communicate with them. So when they go there, they put in their email address and their password that they have. It's their first name, the last name of initial and a number, and they go in, and this is what the screen looks like. Now, if you are a sixth grader, coming in sixth grader, it still says elementary school at the top of your NYC account, student account. But right here, and it's in green, which is kind of tricky since Google is multicolored, but for some reason they made the Google email account icon on this green, which even confused me. And that's where the student's email is. Now, this is citywide. It has nothing to do with the Gmail account that the school created. So all my eighth graders, like, and I'll just call out Miss Chevy, Jake's IS-238 account will be inactive probably if it's not already inactive. He'll get a new account, whatever school he's at, I'm sure, but his NYC student account stays with him. And that travels with the child all through their school enrollment. If your child has never accessed it, a Google terms of service agreement will come up, and they just have to accept it. And then they have an inbox, and this is so just to kind of show you, this was the inbox of a incoming sixth grader that I just used. Right. So if you can see the date here, this is the email I sent to all the students on their accounts about the supply list. And I sent it a couple days ago. The last email that was sent or opened in this account was April 22nd, 2020. So they weren't using these accounts. Okay. Yes, Miss Khan. Miss Singh, as of right now, there is no remote learning option. Okay, there is no remote learning option at this time. And Miss Ingram, I think everybody else hears me. I'm not sure if that's your computer or not. Okay, hold on. Let me just give a check. Who's live there, or did I lose everybody? Miss Khan, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mr. Liddy.
Oh, you can hear me, Miss Holmes? Okay, all right. Yeah, Miss Ingram, I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a break here, and I'll just answer a couple of these questions. Yes, Miss Williams, if your child tests positive, and this was one of the reasons. Where's the camera? This is one of the reasons that I wanted to try to get as much information. Just this morning, the DOE and the UFT came to an agreement regarding what they would do if children are quarantined. Okay, so they came up with an agreement. There is going to be access. There's going to be access to remote learning if your child tests positive and has to quarantine, or if your child was a close contact and has to quarantine. There will be something. They just ironed it out. I didn't get a chance to read it. They sent it today. It's like a 5-page document, but but there will be something because unfortunately we always talk about how this affects the working situation as opposed to how it's going to. So I have to decipher that. Yeah, I know. Nothing ever starts with, so here's what we're doing for the kids. But whatever. Let me not get in trouble. Pull me off of YouTube. But I'll let you guys know. But there will be something. There will be the remote. There will be for the kids who get quarantined. All right. That's where it is. Everybody else is expected to come in. All right. Okay, so the passwords in the email, if you call the school, that's probably the best way to do this right now because unfortunately, if you need the password for your child for that NYC student, it should be their OSIS number, but if they haven't signed on, it may have deactivated. But if you call the school, Mr. Habibi and Miss Boone can give you a hand with that. So that's the best thing to do is just give the school a call anytime between 8 and 3 and someone will, hey, Jake, how you doing, buddy? So call the school and we'll get it to you. Okay. All right. Hold on a minute. Let me just, and if your child is of age and not vaccinated, no, that's fine. The vaccinations are not mandated for children. Vaccinations are not mandated for children, so they will, it's the same thing if they have to quarantine or any of that, Miss Adel Khan. So they don't got to worry about that. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm going to get to these other two right here. Let me just make sure that I'm not skipping. Okay. So the school supply list is very basic. And wait, hold on. What did I do now? I forgot to share the screen. Let's just, it's the desktop. All right. Okay, play. Okay. So the school supply list is basic. And I emailed it to parents if I had your email address. If I didn't, then I couldn't. We're having a problem with the website that I've been working on, and hopefully I'll get that fixed in the next couple of days. It's basic because, again, we don't know what's going on. And truth be told, and this is my, I hope I don't get thrown off YouTube. The more I look at it, because I never really paid attention to it, the school supply thing that they Target and Walmart and they this big thing. And I'm like, does anybody use even half of the stuff that they buy? Right. So the only thing I ever see anybody use is a pen and paper. So, your kid needs a book bag. Yeah. I don't need to tell you your child needs a book bag. Okay. Those are the things that's up to you, what you buy. But as far as what's in school, notebook, folder, pens, pencils, basic. The things I also said was for personal, like if they want to bring their own little package of tissues or their own little hand sanitizer. We do not. And when I say we at the school, I tell my teachers, there is none of this. Bring in 2 reams of copy paper, bring in 2 rolls of Bounty, bring in a box of tissues, bring in none of that business. We have hand sanitizer, we have tissues. We are not supplying your children are not to supply classroom supplies for the building. It's their own stuff. And again, because we never know what's going to happen, I really want to get the kids focused on doing things digitally. They still need a notebook and all that, but all these other extra business, 64 different color crayons. I have crayons at school. Okay, I got markers at school. I got rulers. Let's just stop it. If you want to get your child art supplies to have at home and they can do things, that's up to you. But they are not required to do it. I will give the teachers whatever they need. I don't want this extra burden for things and then you see the kid doesn't use it, and that's annoying. All right. The school uniform is a white collared shirt, khaki pants, or skirt or jumper. Any shoes or sneakers, just no slippers. I know the kids really got into the whole slipper thing with the pandemic. Let's button up tie up the shoes now. No more slippers. They fall. Sandals, Crocs, flip flops. Sneakers or shoes. Let's keep it simple. Metro cards. If your child gets a Metro card, we try to get them out on the first day or the second day. We have to wait for them to be delivered to us, and that's what always holds everything up. But the minute we get them, we put them out. If you used to live across the street from the school and you moved like a mile away, and then you say, how come my child didn't get a Metro card, but you didn't tell us you moved? That's why your child didn't get a Metro card. So if you move, you got to tell us, because that's how it works. I don't just hand out Metro cards. They give it to us based on where your address is. Okay. All right. Now, parents. So again, school supplies, I don't need you to buy schools. I need you to sign up for that NYC SA account. That's what I need. All parents need to register for that account. That's where all the information goes. If you need assistance with that, you can contact the school between 8 and 3. Hold on. Let me just see. Yeah, let me go back. And that answers some of these questions. But you need that NYC SA account because that's the DOE central account. So hold on, let me just stop that. And okay, so hold on. So Ms. Rambaran, the schedules the schedules are the only group of children that haven't had their schedules entered are 8th grade. They're going to do that tomorrow. So 6th and 7th grade have been completed. I can't force Mr. Gales to sit in front of the screen that long. It is kind of tough. So it's a long, you got to go, you got to move again. And every time he came out of his office, I said, go back in your office. No, I didn't do it. But you can't sit there for that long. It's a lot of kids. It's 1,000 kids. So he's going to do 8th grade tomorrow. So 6th and 7th grade are done. 8th grade will be done in the morning. And at some point, it should populate on the account. If it doesn't populate, I will then contact the parents about how to give you the schedules, whether the kids can pick them up or something like that, or we can email. But it's not that serious, because what I am going to do, and this answers whoever iPhone is that said the question before, Miss Rambaran, the kids will not be traveling. They will stay in the classroom. And I know, but we're going to start the school year like that because I want to play it safe. And it actually is probably the better idea because, as I said before, many of my sixth graders that are coming in have not been in a school building since March 2020. So this is going to take and then to throw them into the middle school where they change classes, that wouldn't be fair. And that's also my seventh grade. A lot of my students, a good portion of students were remote. So it's going to take time to get on. I also want to make sure what's happening. What variant are we in now? And by limiting the movement, it limits how many kids, in the event something happened. Because if I move around too much, you as a parent might be very upset to know that your child has to quarantine, not come to school because for 40 minutes they were in another classroom with a kid that tested positive. And you're, of course, going to say to me, how is that fair? He wasn't in the class with them all day. He was only in that class one time. And I get that. So, but we want to eliminate that from happening. So in the beginning, the kids will stay in the class. We will, though, take the class for, say, either take the class out to go to gym, go to art, go to music. We're going to, do that, go to eat. So we're figuring all these things out, but we want to be able to get the kids moved. So they're not going to eat lunch in the rooms this year. Okay. So they're going to stay in the room. The teachers are going to come to them, but they are going to move much more than they did last year. We are going to do it, but we have to do it in a very controlled way to make sure that everything is okay. If things calm down, which I'm hoping, knock on wood, they do, come October, November, we've already discussed about, hey, all right, so maybe we start doing the moving around. Maybe we start with the 8th grade, the 7th grade, and the 6th grade, because, we need them to do all that. So, but for right now, they'll start that way. We will still be using technology. In the 6th grade specifically, the 6th grade, we want to actually, what we learned is the students are not as tech savvy as everybody thinks. So what we're going to do is the Chromebooks I had purchased, we're going to have the 6th graders kind of just use the Chromebooks primarily, just so they get used to using it all the time. The other grades will still incorporate the iPads. It can't all be tech, of course, because, they still need to do other things. But we did notice there was a lot they didn't know how to do on the computer that they struggled with and they got frustrated. So we're definitely going to still be using the iPads. The lockers, that I'm not sure yet. I'm not the best ever. The lockers, I'm not sure yet how we're going to do that. I want to just see how everything goes. Since they're going to be in the one location, I just want to keep it that way. You'll be, when we look at that, I'll let you know. Okay. Okay, so for the social distancing, they did raise it to 3 feet in the classroom. Now, fortunately, my classrooms are pretty big, and because that's the other thing, by keeping the kids in the room, I can just use the biggest rooms. So what we're looking at right now is, so as Miss Adel kind of brings up, last year there was less kids. And there were little signs, it was 6 feet and maybe there was 14 kids in a class. The 3 feet kind of doubles that. And they gave us the what we can do with 3 feet. We're looking to put 24 in each class. We don't want to go over 24. If we go over 24, it would be in a classroom that has more space than 24, like a classroom that says we can hold, 30 something. We have 2 ventilators in each class. We have the windows and we have the AC. So I do understand that, but they will, we're not looking to fill the classrooms. I actually will have empty classrooms that are smaller that I don't want to use but we're going to try to keep it at 24, which I think is completely doable at this point. And if for some reason people actually believe what Miss Chevy says, that I am the bestest, then if more kids come, I've built that in where we could open another class. But we'll see what happens with that. But it's going to be a 24. And if it goes over, it's only going to go over in a classroom where we know there's ample space. I have some rooms that are very big, and it's like, what did they come up with? And then I have some rooms that I'm like, I can't believe how tiny this room is. So we're definitely looking at that. And the kids will not be traveling, as I said. The scattered, no, they okay. Oh, well, like I said, Miss Williams, it's going to be 24, and the social distancing will be the same. They'll keep the desks separated, and the day will follow a 1 to 8 schedule. Hold on. Where is that? No. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. The bell schedule starts at 8. Oh, here it is. Sorry about that. Okay, so the bell schedule is right here. It's each class is 45 minutes, and the lunch periods are periods 5 through 7 typically. Okay, but again, we're looking to make sure that if we have to space things out, we'll space things out. When they eat lunch, as long as they're 3 feet away from each other and the distancing when they're eating lunch, they're okay. We're going to make sure that the kids don't face each other when they're eating, when at all possible. While the weather is nice, we will take advantage of outside in the playground, like to eat outside, and there's a little more space, and there's with there. But the kids will have the same schedule they would normally have, the same periods. The only difference is the teachers will come to them. But again, like I said, for lunch, they're not going to eat lunch in the classroom unless something happens where we have to keep the kids in the classroom or something. But they'll go out. The teacher will take them to either the cafeteria, to outside, or to another area. We have a courtyard. If they go to art, so if an 8th grade class has music third period, we're going to ask the music teacher. He will come to their room, take them to his music room, and then they will have music there. He will take them back. He'll clean anything that he needs to do, like if they used instruments or stuff like that, and then with the next class and things like that. Same with physical education, same with art, because we do want to get them to be moving a little bit more than they did last year. Dismissal will be no, it won't be. We're going to actually dismiss them, so we're not jamming the staircases. So that I have not. District 75 has now is sharing a little space on the ground floor. I'm just waiting for them to let me know what their bell schedule is, and then I'll let everybody know where their children, what exits they'll be coming out of. But at the moment, I don't know specifically. But we're not going to just, like we used to do, the bell rings and everybody, hey, see you tomorrow, and everyone. We're going to have the teachers walk the kids kind of to the staircase and out. And we'll do that based on where they are, where their classroom is. No, the teacher will bring them. Someone will bring them. And 24, okay. Miss Rampersad, the schedules are on the NYC account. And they're not up yet. They're done for 6th and 7th grade. 8th grade is going to be completed tomorrow, but I'm not sure how long it takes for the NYC SA system to update. If it's not updated by, say, Monday or Tuesday, then I'll let parents know how they can get it. But they can also get it the first day. So yes, all teachers are coming to the classroom. and they will move for lunch, art, music, dance, whatever they're doing. The changing in the gym in the beginning right now, no. I'm not going to have the kids change in the gym because I'm not sure what's going on. I want to wait and see what the story is. So as of right now, we're not going to do any of that. That's why I haven't brought up gym uniforms yet or any of that business. Okay, so that here's the best thing with me, and for those of you who know me, if I'm not telling you something, it means that we're not doing it. Okay, if I'm not bringing it up, that means it's not happening. Because it's just the easiest way to do it. Because then it gets confused, and then they say, "Wait, I thought he said this," but so we're not doing that. And again, anytime we make a change, I'll let you guys know beforehand. All right. Okay. I think I got all those questions there. All right. So the other big thing, hold on. Boy, I can't wait till you guys have to come to the auditorium for these meetings. Because this is annoying. I forgot how annoying this was. Switching screens and everything. It's okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is the DOE homecoming. Our commitment to health and safety. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to email this to everybody. I was hoping I could get it up on the website. If I can get it up on the website by tomorrow, I'll just, if I can't, I'll email it to you. So it's a little. I think it's about 13 pages, and it's just basically it's from the chancellor and just basically going about the fact of the vaccine. So vaccines can only be given, and I'm sure many of you have already checked into this. I've heard a lot from parents regarding vaccines. 12 and older, consent for testing, and face coverings, physical distance, ventilation, cleaning, and stuff like this. So let me just drop down a little bit. So if your child is vaccinated and they're 12 and older, then they're okay. There's not too much you have to worry about with that. Vaccination is free and safe. COVID testing. So we have to have consent to test children for COVID. You can do that in two ways. You can fill out a form, print it online, or when you go to the printable version is, whoops. Oh, there it goes. Hold on. Let me do a better share whole thing. There we go. Hold on. Okay. COVID-19 testing for students. Can you guys see that? Okay. School-based testing, and they do the swab. Now you can just do it at the NYC SA account. It's up at the top of the screen where you go to manage account, and then it has a little box for I consent, and you click it, and you click it again, and then it populates on my side and tells me if the child has consent. Okay. If you've already done it, I don't think you have to do it again. They're still honoring that. Okay, hold on. Let me just. Ms. Singh, you have a question?
Yeah, Mr. Leddy, question about the COVID testing. If they're vaccinated, do I still need to give the consent for in-school testing?
Okay, well, that is a great question, actually. I feel like one of those TV people where they say that. Right now, what the policy is they're only going to be testing unvaccinated students. That's what they said as of this morning, or when they told us. They told us on Monday that policy that I was showing you that just came up. So, but I think it's best to give the consent just to have it, because I think they could change that. They could turn around and say, and I'm just going by what on the news, because it seems to me that they were still having a problem between that. But it's not, if you don't, let me put it to you this way. If they change that they're going to test vaccinated students, then they would want consent. Okay, does that kind of answer that for you a little bit, Miss Singh, or no? Yeah, okay. All right. So
yeah, this is Miss Holmes. One quick question. So
yes.
how would I notify the DOE that he's COVID, he got the vaccines?
Okay, so hold on. All right. There is a screen for that. There's an app for that, as they say on the commercial. Hold on. Let me go back to my little, okay. Okay, is it this one? Hold on. Nope, that's not it. Okay, so there is, hold on, I'm sorry, I've got too many of these windows open. Am I in the right screen? Ah, here it is. School health policy. Okay. Oh, they may have taken it down. Okay, so there is a vaccination portal that what you do is if your child has been vaccinated, and I guess they use that little card or the get the card, I guess you can either take a picture of it and you upload it or scan it on the vaccination portal, and then they would you're gonna put, like, you know, your child's OSIS number in, a date of birth, and I don't see it here. I thought it was on. It was on here. Maybe they're going to change that, but that's how they would know if you had the vaccine, Miss Holmes. There's a portal to upload. I'm going to get everybody. I'll get everybody the web address, but it looks like they may have changed it because I don't see it up here.
Right. If you have it, I can email it to me so I can,
Absolutely. Oh yeah. No, I'll send it
them unnecessarily.
Yes. No, I'll definitely share that with everybody. It was on that. It was right on there, but this is what I mean. Things pop in and off sometimes.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. So I hope by the end of the year. Okay. So if your daughter, if your child is vaccinated, you still want them tested, as long as you have the consent, that's fine. For those of you that were there last year, when they first did the first year testing, the first week, I called parents the day and I said, this is happening. And the reason I did that was because I think it's important that even though if you gave consent, I just wanted parents to know. When they did it in summer school, I did the same thing. And so I'll tell you right now, if I think for a minute that I have a kid with me, a student who's acting like, oh, I'm not supposed to do this, my mother told me not to, or there's any confusion, I always pull that kid to the side and we call the house. I'm never going to let anybody grab your kid and do something they don't want done to them. We'll deal with that later. But anybody gets upset or a parent calls, everything stops. We'll deal with it later. I'd rather do it that way and then get to get everybody safe than to be upset. So don't worry about that. Okay. New parent. Okay, Miss Davis. Yes. No, Miss Davis, I'm going to send it to everybody. As far as 8th grade trips, I don't know anything about yet. I don't know anything about field trips yet, but that we'll see. Hopefully, in-person graduation. We did the outdoor one, but we're definitely going to try. I mean, a lot of people like the outdoor one. I prefer to actually go back to Queens College because it'll be a lot less work for me. So, because that was rough. It was nice. People had it, but it was a lot of work. And I'm looking forward to inside graduation. So we're definitely going to try for that, Miss Biswas. And again, I'm hopeful that a lot of this is going to kind of plateau. All right. No, I don't know anything about Excelsior for NYC. That's the problem is the city and the state like to do their own thing. It's just going to be this vaccination portal. You'll upload the thing. I thought I saw something you could kind of use that Excelsior passport as your proof.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You can use it, but you're not going to show it to me. Here's the big thing is this. I am in not looking to get into anybody's business. The DOE has their portal and you can upload that. You can use it as proof, most definitely, but we're not checking people at the door for cards. That goes through that. And then when, like I said, for the testing, the way they do the COVID testing is I get a list. I get a list on the computer, and it's random sort of, but we keep track of it. So, and it tells me if a child has consent or not. It may tell me now. I don't know if it's going to put all the kids and say don't test because vaccinated. They may just show me the kids without vaccination. I'm not sure what it looks like. They haven't sent that out. But again, if there's any question of anything, I'm definitely going to let parents know. And I think they might even let me, if they let me tell you the day before, I'll definitely do that. I know last year they didn't want anybody to know when the testing was. But you know, like I guess because maybe they thought people would stay home. I don't know. But if they tell me I can alert my school community the day before, I'll send a phone master out and I'll say, listen, tomorrow's testing. So everybody knows. And then if anyone has a question, says, oh, listen, Miss Aletti, I didn't submit my consent form, but I want my child tested. Can that happen? And I'll say, sure. All right. The current schedule of when they will be tested is 10% every 2 weeks, 10% of unvaccinated consented students. So whatever that is. So if you figure probably most of our sixth graders are under 12 and a good handful of seventh graders are probably 11, close to 12. So you're figuring, I don't know, just based on that being under 12 and can't getting the vaccination. I'm not saying that everybody over 12 is vaccinated. So it's always going to be at least 400 to 500 kids that can't get the vaccination because they're not 12 years old. I don't know how many kids are 12 or older got it, but so it's going to be 10% each every 2 weeks. So that could be, that could be 40 kids, that could be 80 kids, it could be 120 kids, but we have a pretty good system for when the kids get tested. We don't keep them out of class too long, and we get them back, and everything kind of runs pretty smooth. As a matter of fact, the testing sites, when they come to us, they actually like coming to us. I give the kids a sticker with the name on it, how it's spelled, their date of birth, so they can give it to the lab person, so there's no mistakes. And then that way there's no problem, instead of, because kids come up there and, they're a little nervous. So they just give it to them and they write, and it's quicker that way. Right. Pick their kids. Yes, the teachers will be picking their kids up in the beginning. In the beginning of the school year, they will pick them up and bring them to the class, but that's not going to continue all year. Middle school is much different from elementary school. Based on how teacher time is. Okay, elementary school, I think the teachers get in about a half an hour before the students do. In middle school and high school, the teachers start the same time the kids do. They run the same schedule, pretty much the same day. So I can't have the kids coming. If I have the kids downstairs at 8 o'clock, I got to wait for the teacher to show up. And if the teacher's late, then I got the kids standing outside, as opposed to. And then if I have a sub for the teacher, sending a sub outside to find the kids, that's just not going to work. But in the beginning, we'll do it that way. And then we let the kids go up and straight to their classroom. All right. An orientation for seventh graders. I'm doing something we're not really doing an orientation because there's not much to orient in the sense, because the kids are basically, when they come in, they're going to be in the one classroom. So, years before I would have done that. We walked around the building, we showed things to do, but at this point, the orientation is going to kind of be done at school, because the kids are going to be with the teacher. So then the teacher will walk them around and show them where things are. And so we don't have a lot of kids walking around, we'll do it that way. So that's kind of where we're at. It's difficult, and plus I do have some construction still going on in the building on the ground floor, and it makes it hard. And then the custodians have to clean every time somebody comes in the building. So, and I'm trying, like I said, we did not have a lot of, we had class closures when children tested positive, but I didn't have any kids that got sick in school. I had kids that I'm going to tell you right now, I know kids told me, but they weren't in school. But as far as in school, when somebody tested positive, they were asymptomatic. There was never a time where we had a kid had 102 fever. They tested, they said they're positive. We closed the classroom. We cleaned the classroom, and then, we quarantined. But we were pretty good and I remember parents very upset with their own kid. They're saying, he's not sick, why can't he come to school? And I said, well, this is just the way it has to be. So 8th graders are lining up too. Everybody's lining up on the first day. And what's going to happen is, in the schoolyard, we're going to use their official class. So the teachers will be outside with signs that say like 603 or 705. The program will load up on the NYC account, even if it does or it doesn't, and you can see the official class. So you'll know that day, okay, I go look for 803 or 821. I will send out a phone call. I will send out 2 phone calls, one right after the other. The first will be my very angelic voice on talking to you, and I will be telling you another phone call is coming, and it's the robot voice. And the robot voice is going to tell, when it calls you, your official class number is 821. So that's why I send the 2 phone calls, because I don't want you to hang up on Robot Letty. But I can program it to say specifically for each person what their official class is. I can't do that with my voice. I'd have to make 1,000 calls. So that'll happen. So I'm covering your bets. And if you're somebody that has none of these things, which is probably nobody here, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't, when the child shows up, I don't know where to go. That's okay. Do you know your name? Yes. All right. Well, we're winning already. And here you go. You're going to go over there. Your number is 711. And you're going to go stand with them, and we'll get it.
Marco, Mr. Larry, sorry to interrupt you. The call that you said that was going to come to your house with the class number, that's going to happen
next week. Yeah. Week. Because I'm going to send, you're going to get a couple of calls from me next week. But that one, I'll tell you, once I know that the schedule's up, I'll send a call saying, please check your NYCSA account to see your schedule. Please look for the official class. Even still, I'm going to send that call probably.
That's a very good idea. I like that. So when the kids go to the yard, they know I have to look for this number. They just go straight.
They can
look for that number and line up there.
Right. But I will tell you something. Here's a good thing to tell your child. For anybody there with your child, help them build their confidence, because they drive me crazy when they do this. They come into the schoolyard. And because they
around you,
but yes, exactly. You've seen this. So they all come around me and they ask, and the child is holding the schedule in his hand and asks me, and this happens a lot. Where am I supposed to go? What class? And I'm like, your schedule, it says it right here. And they said, well, I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, everybody else was asking you, and I wanted to make sure, because I want to make sure I wasn't wrong. So they have this like really low confidence. So tell your child when they walk out, if they have their program in a class, say, listen, you know what you're going to do? You're going to go in that schoolyard. If you see Mr. Letty, you're going to walk by him and say, thanks, I don't need your help. I know where I'm going, and strut right by me.
They like the comfort of your
I know,
voice,
but they do. But I'd rather see that. I would like, can I help you? No, Mr. Letty, I know what I'm doing. Thank you. And walk right by me.
I think that phone call will help a lot.
Yes. So we'll do
Mr.
that.
Letty, I have one more question.
Yes.
On the health screening form that the kids have to do every morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since he's fully vaccinated, I just have to press on, yes, I am considered fully vaccinated,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that third question, it's really a yes or no. It doesn't really do anything.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
It doesn't. That's the only one that doesn't stop the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you miss the call, again, if you miss the call, the first day of school is the 13th. If you miss it, I will be standing there with a list as long as with everybody else. But of course, everyone will just come walk over to me and ignore the other 15 staff members with lists, but that's fine.
Yes, it always happens. Yes, I have seen it.
Don't understand.
They just want to come around you.
I don't know why that is, but anyway, so they will if you miss the call, don't worry, someone will have the information for you that day. And for the laptops, bringing their own for the sixth graders, I would keep them home for now. Don't bring them in yet, because really what I'm trying to do is my goal is to assign each sixth grader their own Chromebook for the year. So then that way in the beginning they have it. And then my goal is by maybe October, the beginning of October, the kids take the Chromebook home with them. So, and then do their work on the Chromebook. And I can't do it for the entire school because I don't have the funds to buy that many Chromebooks. And unfortunately, even if I did, they're not selling them right now. There's really a supply shortage. But we are looking at trying to have the kids bring the devices home. So it's that continuity. And I'm starting with the sixth grade because then what my goal would be is then when they move on the seventh grade, if I get Chromebooks for the next year's sixth graders, now I've got 2 grades, and then the third year. And then that way they know what to do. It just helps, I think, if they're doing it.
So what about our kids from before? Do they still use the same laptops and the iPads?
Well, yeah, we're still going to give them stuff in iPads, but the thing is, with the sixth grade, because of the fact that there seemed to have been a lot of the kids coming in for the elementary, I've noticed that I don't know if they did as much technology in the elementary schools. I had a lot of kids that came in that told me they've never seen Teach Hub. They didn't do this. They maybe logged in a couple of times a week. So we really want to get the sixth graders up to speed on using the technology. Our seventh and eighth graders are pretty good now, I think. So we'll definitely use it. But the point with the Chromebooks for the sixth grade is really to help them to understand how to navigate, because they seem to really not know how to do a lot of things they need to do. Like we really took for granted, like we just think because they play Fortnite all the time that they know how to use a Chromebook, and they just don't. If you have their own one, they can use it, but I don't bring anything in until we tell everybody, okay, if they can bring it, because let us just get a little settled first in the first couple of weeks.
That's the ones that you guys gave, or the city gave, from before. That's why I was asking about those.
Oh, the iPads. No, the iPads we'll still use with the upper grades. Yeah, but okay. I don't. Yeah, but the thing is when they get to the eighth grade, it's a little different, because like algebra, not so much an iPad thing. You know what I mean? So that's why when everybody says tech, it doesn't apply to everything. It's a great tool, but it really doesn't. To graph on a computer is difficult for anybody, you know what I mean? But on graphing paper, that's how we do it. So we need to show the kids how to graph, like when they're doing like equations and things like that. They need to learn that with pen and paper. There's no way to do that on a computer, I think is a disservice to them. Then later on, they can get into it. But certain things with that has to be paper and pencil. But yeah, but would they still be using it for other things? Definitely with it, especially in ELA. ELA will, for the 8th grade, and social studies will probably be heavily Google Classroom. Ms. Singh, you have a question?
Yeah. So my kid is an 8th grader. Question is, he didn't have a Chromebook from school last year. He was using his own device. So how does this change now? Does he have to bring in his device?
No. We have devices. The kids will use. We have devices in school to use with the kids because not everybody's going to be using devices every day. Like I said, we're just doing this really with the 6th grade because to teach them, because we can kind of get to kill two birds with one stone with the 6th grade. We can teach them tech and keyboard. And then also use it for academics. So what we saw is they really had a lot of problems because they kind of just got thrown into it. So I'm assuming the kids who were like 4th and 5th graders are still going to struggle. But the 7th and 8th grade, we have iPads and carts. And when the teacher needs to use it, we just bring a cart to them. And if we needed them to do something at home, we would take care of that too.
Okay, so they just come in with a headphone according to your list.
No, okay. So the headphone is suggested. Okay, they don't need to I don't want people spending a lot of money. I wouldn't buy. I know the kids have it for their games, but on the list that I said, it's suggested. It helps because. So right now I have no idea what my wife is doing. Because I can't hear her because I've had these on my ear and you can't hear the background noise. And it just makes it a little easier for the kids to communicate. So that's what the big thing is, because if the kids talk, like they lean into the screen or they can't be heard, and it's easier for them here. And if they were doing remote, if they had to quarantine and their younger brothers and sisters are there and they're making noise, it's just an easier way to help them concentrate. That's all. If you don't want to get it, you don't have to get it. And when we're in school, I do have headphones. If a child needed it, I would just give it to them.
Mr. Larry.
Yes.
So how many days the kids are going to be lining up in the schoolyard? Just the first 2 days of school or the first?
Probably the first week, just so I can see what's going on.
From Monday to Friday, the whole week will be in the schoolyard.
Right. And the other reason we can't do this every day is the weather. Right. Because that's the big thing. If the weather is on my side, which knock on wood, a lot of times it is, then okay. But even I don't want to push Mother Nature around too much. Because, if I start pushing it every day, then it, like the storm that was yesterday.
Yes.
And I don't want kids waiting out in the rain and things like that. So we would move them in quicker. That's one of the reasons they need to be able to do it, because if it's raining, I need to get them in the building quick. If it's cold, yeah.
So basically just the first week of school.
Just the first week, just to get everybody kind of situated, because I know this is, it's been a thing.
Okay, and then we're gonna go back to the same things we used to do before, like entering the building from the main entrance.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, well, no, not the main entrance yet, because we're still gonna go from the back because we have to do the health screening.
Okay, so he still has to come to the back.
Yeah, he still comes from the back. He may not go. Yeah, he won't have to go into the schoolyard at some point. He'll just go into the building. But we have to use the back because we have to check the health screen.
Okay.
Yeah, if I do that in the front, it'd be too chaotic.
Okay.
At the front of the building because.
So which one of the doors? Because there's 2 different doors in the back.
It's going to be either one. It's going to be either. What we're going to actually do is we want to see how many kids bring it on their phone.
Okay.
And if that's a way to kind of also motivate, if the kids have it on the phone, then they go through a separate exit because then we can keep it moving.
Got you.
And then and that's a way, like they get in a little quicker. Kind of like, fast pass.
Well, Ari still takes a school bus, so that exit's still going to be.
Oh yeah, no, she's fine. Ariel's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let me just quick.
And Mr. Letty, you will also tell us where we have to upload those vaccination cards, right?
Yes, as soon as I don't know, it was on there and now it's not. So I'll get it. They may have taken it down, but I can't see it on the thing. But I'll get it to you guys and I'll send that out and I'll let. And you know, I'll make a phone call telling you to check emails and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Again, so thank you, everybody. I don't want to keep anybody this long. And if you have any questions, we are here Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, so we're there 8 to 3. Give a call, and someone will help you. And 6th grade parents, I emailed them for Tuesday and Wednesday. I will be in the building on Tuesday and Wednesday. With some teachers kind of to help process some 6th graders because of their information and stuff like that. So also Tuesday and Wednesday are Jewish holidays, but I will have some staff in the building. So if you have a question, give a call then as well. Thursday and Friday is when the teachers come back full time to the building for professional development. And Monday the 13th is the first day of school, and 7:45 is when you should. Don't come later than 7. I know, but come by 7:45, just so you know nobody's anxious, and we'll get everybody in. Okay, everybody.
Okay. Thank
All
you,
right.
Eddie.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and I will
Bye.
again. I will again speak to you soon. Take
Bye,
care.
Letty.
Bye. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Letty.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Okay,
Miss
good
Ellen.
night.
Bye-bye,
All
Mr.
right.
James. Bye, Miss Chevy.
Thanks.
Bye, Miss Singh. Bye, Mr. Ryan. Take care.
Bye, Mr. Letty.
Take care, Miss Khan. Bye, Miss Ingram. See you later.
Bye. Yeah, real soon.
Real soon. Take care.
Good night. Good
Bye, Miss
night.
Alacana. Miss you and
Bye,
Miss
Mr.
Johnson.
Letty.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mr. Letty.